February is Fireball Month. NASA has photographed about half a dozen of these bizarre slow-moving, deep-diving fireballs. Their sizes vary from basketballs to buses. Where are all the strange meteors are coming from? They all hail from the asteroid belt, but not from a single location in the asteroid belt, said Bill Cook of the Meteoroid Environment Office at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. There is no common source for these fireballs, which is puzzling. There have been 5 or 6 notable fireballs that might have dropped meteorites around the United States alone. Germany and Japan have also had notable sightings. February 1st, a meteor lit up the skies over central Texas, putting on a dazzling show for people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It was extremely bright, and took 8 seconds to cross the sky, said eyewitness Darren Moore. I could see the fireball start to slow down, then it exploded like a firecracker artillery shell into several pieces, flickered a few more times, and then slowly burned out. As bright as the full moon, the fireball was spotted by NASA cameras in New Mexico, more than 500 miles, 805 kilometers, away. It was likely caused by an object 3 to 6 feet, 1 to 2 meters, wide, NASA researchers said. These fireballs are particularly slow in penetrating, meteor expert Peter Brown, a physics professor at the University of Western Ontario, said in a statement. They hit the top of the atmosphere moving slower than 15 kilometers per second, 33,500 miles per hour, decelerate rapidly and make it to within 50 kilometers, 31 miles, of Earth's surface. And the meteors have kept coming. My question is, what is knocking our asteroid belt around out there?
Hey folks, it's Thursday, October 17th, about 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 2013. Fire in the Sky news tonight here at the American Meteor Society. Started the day off with a bang, a major event over California. Many witnesses saw a spectacular fireball, which we are now referring to as rock stars instead of shooting stars, because people are seeing something that is just not typical, in my opinion. These reports are quite dramatic. And right now, we're getting some reports starting to come in from the East Coast, from Maryland, Potomac, Towson, and Severn. And one person describes it as definitely one of the coolest things he's ever seen. Another person described it as fragmenting. It broke into many pieces. Gave it a -9 and -13 respectively. The one out of the Potomac, they didn't give much of a description, so it's orange, red, and brown. And again, multiple chunks. Multiple chunks moving in tandem with the main object. And this one here, they did hear a sound. Popping, whistling sound, and that was out of the Potomac. So I'm sure there'll be more reports associated with that. And that, like I said, that just come in within the last hour. So I have to wait and see how many more come in on that. But the night's still young, and we'll see what tonight brings. But looking at the NEO program, we do have a close encounter coming up on the 19th, which would be Saturday. Asteroid about 50-60 feet wide, coming just outside the Earth-Moon system at 1.6 LD. And I think there's some other ones slated too that are around 3.0, but that's pretty close. That's a close shave right there. It's the closest one I've seen in a few days. But right now, getting some reports off the East Coast. Maryland seems like the hot spot at the moment. And one thing I'd like to ask you guys while I've got you here, the last couple of days, extremely tired, especially the last couple of days. My wife wanted me to ask, so I told her I would. And myself included, I have to be honest. Today, for some reason this afternoon, and I don't normally get this way, I got really super tired. Joints were aching and stuff like that, and that's not like me at all. My wife, same symptoms. My 14-year-old daughter. And the only reason we're bringing it up is because she's feeling the same way. And not only her, keep in mind she's a teenager that's highly active in dance and all kinds of stuff. A lot of her friends in high school are having the same complaints. These are high school kids, teenagers. I mean, they're young, running wild, but there's many of her students at school that are saying they're just very super tired, have been the last 2 days. They just feel run down. Not necessarily sick, but just super tired. So I told my wife I would ask if any of you guys have been feeling those symptoms or know anybody that has. I don't know, maybe it's just a change in the weather. I don't know. It doesn't really change that much out here where I live, but I just wanted to ask anybody feeling tired the last couple of days. I know that's definitely not related to fire in the sky and fireballs, but it's important because something has changed, it seems like, in the last couple of days. And that's definitely not like me, but if you have or know anybody that has, please comment. I'd appreciate it. And as always, guys, during these uncertain times, be brave, be strong, and be wise. That's the news for tonight. Thanks for watching.
The fireball flew Friday night. The East Coast does not mean the end of Western civilization as we know it. Although you may have succumbed to the prophecy that some social media stopped running, the sky lit along the entire U.S. East Coast. Those who saw it described it as a thin stripe of blue-green-white, explains Chip Guy, who was driving in eastern Maryland when he and his family saw him. It did not last more than 8 or 9 seconds, and then disappeared, said a spokesman. Guy, Sussex County, Delaware. Frankly, I did not think too much about it, he says, but became concerned when he published it in the web of the local media. Triggered a rapid and overwhelming. That was just the tip of the iceberg of what was going to happen that night. Throughout Friday night, every few seconds a message appeared on Twitter from someone who had seen the meteor. Some of the messages were from the cities of New York and Washington.
Dabu 7, we've had a huge fireball over Oregon today. The news here is reporting that multiple people got shots of this and sent in pictures, and they wasn't sure exactly what this object was. This first shot, I mean, I'm not sure if we're looking at chemtrails here or what, and there's a streak here, but there's an object. There's no smoke, there's no nothing, and that is way too large to be a bird. For a bird to look like that, it had to be somewhere up here in this tree line, somewhere up in this area, not way out there like that. I mean, I guess it could be a possibility, but I'm not sure if that's the object they're talking about or not. When looking at the other pics, it is clear this is the fireball that they are talking about. This pic is similar to the other, but there's nothing up here. This is a very good shot here. Almost pyramid type structure as it comes crashing down to Earth. Almost pyramid type structure. See it once again there. And again here. So very interesting indeed. Fireball over Oregon in the shape of a pyramid. I'll leave links as always. This has been Dabu.
This is Dabu 7 reporting on a wild electric fireball taking place inside of Canada.
Oh my god, that is not cool. God. Oh my God, that is not cool.
That is fucking one. Oh my God.